Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of A Menace to Midnight. I have a special guest today. Jamie, the Aussie Stoolie, is with me. Say hello to the viewers.
G'day, viewers. It's good to be here. Watched the show for a long time, and I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have him along. I've been sifting through reams and reams of paper in the last couple of days revolving around these Earl the Pearl rumors surrounding Steve Robinson. Now, I have tons of evidence that would seem to suggest that perhaps Earl the Pearl has been commenting on a lot of Howie Carr stuff. So I'm just sort of working out what to do with it, and I'll come back to you on that one. But it seems like perhaps Steve does have a history that'll be no surprise of lying to entertain people.
Yeah, it seems like the evidence is constantly mounting. There's more and more of it coming in every day, and it's a daunting one.
Good thoughts, Jamie. Now you can call up now whenever you want. So Justin is going to open the phone lines. I just want to start off by saying that there was a few comments in the last show that seemed to upset Kirk. Look, I listened back to the show and I was pretty heated. I'll tell you what happened. Before I jumped on air, I saw in Discord that Kirk Minahan had said in the Discord to Pappy and the rest that wouldn't it be funny if someone tried to ruin Menace to Midnight tonight, and also encouraged Meaty and Pappy to keep going, even though Meaty and Pappy and I had a very long conversation in the voice Discord, which my producer Justin knows about. So Pappy got, a second's attention from Kirk Minahan, and it went to his head because he's a fucking moron. But I'd like to thank Kirk for being an asshole as well. Hello, caller. You're with Jamie and Menace.
Hey, Menace.
Hello.
I don't do call-ins usually, so I'm watching you, but I turned the volume down because I thought it might be a problem. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great. What's your name?
I'm Zonker.
Hey, nice. The legend.
I just sent you a DM about menners.barstool.com.
Yeah, what
about it? I was going to tell you should... But I just wanted to call. I've been meaning to call, every show. I get kind of tired, though, but the show's great. I'm glad you do it twice a week.
Yeah, thank you. It would be a shame if one Minifan tried to ruin it for everyone else by calling up constantly, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, you got to take callers, but if they really just become a pain, I don't see why you would keep doing it.
Exactly. Yeah,
but point. There's something else I wanted to say. So I was listening to the ladies' show, and they said that both you and I had said that they were too nice. And I think I said they were nice. I didn't think I said too. And I don't think they are too nice. I think they're being themselves, and that's great. And, they're bright, and they have, good observations, and I enjoy their show. Most shows I do, skip certain parts because there's a lot to watch. Even the podcast is so long. So I'm loving it in the
I agree.
Kirk Minahan world.
I just think maybe the Minna ladies, and Jamie, you might want to jump in here, but they had a couple of rough weeks with Steve Robinson's groupie, and then the other, what was Dee Dee? So I think they were trying to tone down the sort of heat on the show.
Yeah.
But look, they're nice, and I think I think they are too nice, but I think the world needs that balance because there's a lot of people, as I've said before, with black hearts in this world.
Yeah, there is. That's for sure.
But Zonky, you're a legend. You're doing fine work, and thank you for all your support.
Yeah.
What a legend.
That was good to hear. It's good to have him calling. First call.
Yeah, so I was saying before I went on that, I was really pissed off at Kirk for egging on Pappy because I think, there's no need for Kirk to egg on fucking trolls. Yep. And so I said a few things about Kirk in the last show that pissed him off. But, I mean, I stick by everything. And, KFC was saying on the latest show that why is Kirk sticking up for these trolls? It's just so unbecoming. Speaking of trolls, we have a caller. Hello. Hello. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. I'm on?
Yes.
Yes, you're with Manners and Jamie.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys? How are you? I love the show. I've been there since the beginning, even though, it hasn't been very long. I just want to know what I can do on this side of the planet to really sort of accelerate the Steve Robinson, get him out of a job sort of situation. I know that you hate him. And then my my tag name on Twitter is Fire Steve Robinson, and I want to know what I can do to coordinate to like ramp this up, because I feel like for a while we've been talking about what an asshole Steve is and what a douchebag he is and how much he lies and how he's a sociopath and all that, and I'm sick of his right-wing politics. But I'm wondering what we can do to coordinate to sort of like make this a joint effort, sort of like tag team Randy, Macho Man Savage, and Hulk Hogan to take this to the next level. Because I got just as much Steve hate as you do, my friend.
That's not possible.
Well, I'm glad to hear.
I'm telling you.
I've got
I
some
know that
ideas for you.
You came on the scene bursting and ready to go, and I said to myself, finally someone who feels like I do. Like, I wish there was a way I could just delete him out of every single one of Kirk. I love Kirk, but I wish there was a way I could just delete his fat face off of the broadcast in general.
Well,
What
here's
can
his,
we do to
here's his
coordinate
lovely photo of him and his boyfriend, Matt. Look, I think a couple of things. Firstly, I've got a sort of two-step plan. One of them is at least get him off mic. So they bring in a third, well, probably a second voice, and blind Mike drops down to the third voice. And perhaps then
yeah.
well, at least we wouldn't have to hear his stupid talking, Steve.
He is a good technical producer. Your
Well,
biggest
not
gripe
really.
is just
I agree
no,
with
not
you
really.
there.
In the Mincel Intel show, he admitted he had no formal training, which is why he was asking me for advice on how to use this deck that I've got here. But I guess what will get Steve fired from his job is when he does something to Kirk or Kirk's work. So that's what we need to focus on. When he does something that affects Kirk.
I mean, they battle, so I mean, like the fights, I mean, have recently become, a little bit more personal. I think they are getting fed up with each other. I think it's just a way we got to irk Kurt to just say, listen, Kirk, you got to get rid of this guy. I mean, this is enough.
Just a matter of time.
Maybe he's scared about not having a replacement, but man, he's got to go. He's just an idiot head.
Yep, good call. Best call so far tonight. Thank you. Jamie, you just talk for a sec.
Yeah, that was I mean, I know what you're saying, Menez, where you don't think that he's a good producer. He is good for the show. He books the right guests when he has to. He gets to show up most of the time on time, although sometimes it's a little bit late, and you see that reaction on Twitter. But yeah, I see what the caller was saying, that he just wants to limit his input to the show. Maybe he talks a little bit too much, kind of like what Chris Curtis and Ken Laird ended up being on the WEI days. But I'm still a Steve fan.
I was really triggered this morning, and look, I'm not pissed off at Kirk. I love Kirk, but I don't think he needs to be encouraging trolls. But him saying this morning that I hate the show.
Yeah,
I don't hate the show. Sometimes I have a go at Kirk because he's not perfect, but I love the show. I'm not like Mayo that tries to find problems in the show. I don't hate listen. Hello, caller. Welcome to Manners to Midnight with guest.
So there you are, Tubby. You look like a bucket of lard on a bad day. You, baby gorilla. Why don't you work the zoo and stop bothering people? Got a call yesterday from Baskin Robbins.
I think that was a Sopranos reference. I'm not sure.
I think that was our friend, Medium Puppy, maybe. Do you think?
I don't know. That's a hard one.
No, another terrible call from him.
Yeah.
It's amazing how that Kirk, gives someone 30 seconds of attention and it goes to the head. People think that Kirk saying I was his favorite Minifan went to my head. I don't think it did, though.
Not at all. No. I mean, he did refer to you as, Men as Minahan, so you change your name. But it's a different level with what Medium Puppy does.
Yeah. Hello, caller.
Hey, Menners, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm really well. I'm with Jamie. How are you? What's your name?
I'm good. Hey, my name is Jacob. I'm not a huge Steve fan either.
I thought it was
But
Aaron.
I did agree with one thing that he said recently, and that that you're a total piece of shit for firing all your workers from your restaurant.
Fair enough. I didn't fire them all.
Nope. The way our government works over here, they get more money now.
They anyway, let's just they can keep
it's-
calling if they want and try and put
Same
me off.
crap.
But as I said, if callers want to keep calling and hassling about my restaurant, I'm just going to stop the show. Not
Yeah.
for any other reason, but this is a fun call-in show, and I'm not trying to do some threat. This is supposed to be fun.
It's for the fans, yeah.
Yeah,
If
and,
one guy ruins it.
It's not about trolling Manners, although Kirk wants it to be about that, because he's a fucking anyway. Sorry, hello caller.
Hey, Manners and Jamie. This is Neil in Boston. How's it going, guys?
Hey, not too
Great,
bad.
Thanks for calling in.
I just want to get your thoughts on radio versus podcasting. I think podcasting is much more of an entertaining medium, and I think Kirk has escalated that beyond anything else. He's kind of ruined all other podcasts for me. But I feel like some callers or listeners of the show think that the radio days were this awesome, Kirk pinnacle, and I just don't care for that shit. Like, radio is boring as hell to me. Just want to get your thoughts on, why people might cling to radio now. Like, I think the Kirk podcast is the best thing on earth, and I don't get why, people cling to the WEI days. Just want to get your thoughts. As someone who doesn't listen to radio or never did, I want to get your thoughts on why people still love that. I'll hang and listen on the YouTube. Keep it up, boys.
Great question.
Cheers.
Jamie, you can lead off with this one.
Yeah, like I liked Kirk on WEI as well, but being in Australia, we podcasted, so we listened to wherever we wanted. But I think the show now is 1,000 times better than what it ever was on WEI. Like, what he's doing now with the way the world is all formed, it's exactly what he wanted to do. And to go back to radio would just be the worst thing because you're so restricted on the way you have to do it. The format is just terrible, as he said before. So I think podcast is way better than radio.
I agree. I used to like on the Kirk and Callahan show the bits where they were fucking around like they're doing on the KMS show now. And I used to podcast the KNC show most of the time, and I would skip all the sporty bits.
Yeah.
So
Tom Brady
having
interview.
Kirk doing a whole show in his world is my dream. So yeah, and I think cars are getting better, so people will just start listening to podcasts on their commute.
Yep.
Sorry, caller. Welcome to Menace to Midnight.
Greetings. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Wonderful. I'm good, thank you. I was curious if you'd be willing to do a quick word association and just tell me the first thing that comes to your mind.
Did you call in Mike Geary's show today?
I sure did.
I heard that, and really, I love word association. And I forgot, I wanted to put out a tweet. Someone call in with word association. So go for it.
Perfect. All right. Let's start off
Is
with
it for me or Jamie? Me or Jamie?
I'm sorry?
Would you like me or Jamie to answer these?
You, please.
Okay. Thank you. Shoot.
Liar.
Steve.
Yep. Douchebag.
Steve.
Pompous.
Steve.
Overrated.
Dave Portnoy.
Blind Mike.
Maine.
Maine. Steve.
Talentless.
Steve.
And Hobbit.
Hobbit. Frodo Baggins.
Yeah.
Frodo.
Hobbit.
Frodo.
Ah,
Frodo.
good enough.
Most famous
I'll
Hobbit
take
of
it.
all. All right, thanks for the call.
That was good. Not a lot of variety there, but
That's all right.
it's-
I've
can't
got
help
a
it.
call. I've got some sounds to play. Let's play one. This is the reaction to the last Menace to Midnight. Now I started the show off trying to sort of continue the hammer. I don't know.
I noticed that.
opened
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was my
yeah.
open. And
Well, you're on the back of that show, so
Yeah. Well, let's take this. Let's take this call. Hello, caller.
Hello there, Menace.
Hello there.
Did you hear John Prine died?
Who?
John Prine, the singer?
Never heard of him.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking
Oh.
about.
sing a song.
Oh no. Well, sorry. No, he was a big In Spite of Ourselves, kind of American folk
Never
guy.
heard. Is this
Anyways,
called
I guess if you don't know him, you don't know him.
I
There's
don't
no
know,
point
yeah,
in trying to.
Yeah. Did he starve to death? Because I closed my restaurant.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you were named in the obituary. I didn't want to break it to you this way, but yeah, 2 eggs.
Thank you.
That was his undoing, really.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he had a,
Did you
thought he
work
had
on
enough
this
money saved up,
material all evening, or was it improv? Because, I mean, we've seen Kirk doing improv's not great. You and him could probably do a skit together.
yeah, we could bond together, I guess.
Anyway, anything else,
Uh,
caller? You're speaking
say
to
that again?
2 guys in Australia. I mean, 2 genuine Aussies. Any questions?
Any questions?
Yeah, come on. It's a call-in show. You
Yeah,
got
sure.
something?
How's the climate over there? How's everyone making out? Is it in quarantine? Is it as bad as Meanie and Poppy's saying, or what's the scoop?
No, it's so I guess Australia has the advantage of we have a lot of space. So once you get out of the city centres, everyone's quite spread out. So it's quite easy to quarantine. And the government's been really good in looking after all the unemployed people. But everything has to be closed, restaurants, but everything has to be shut. So we're just in lockdown.
Yeah, and I got another question. Did you guys watch Breaking Bad?
Years ago, I did.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear Blind Mike today say he hated Walt Jr.?
Yeah, I agree with him. His acting wasn't awesome.
He is Walt Jr.
They look the same.
Oh, they look the same. They act the same.
They have
They're just
disability. Yeah, okay.
There you go.
Just a drip.
Well, that's probably why he doesn't like
It
it.
is.
Because you don't like, when you see yourself reflected.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I like looking at the self-reflection.
Yeah,
right.
That's my thought. But hey, go on. Sorry to trip up the show with the John Prine thing. I thought he was.
No.
I thought he might be big. Thought he might be big down. I heard it before. You mentioned you were a fan of the band, so I was
That's
like,
my
he likes
favorite
good
band.
music.
I do love the
Yeah.
band. Are you the guy that sent me that you're a band fan as well?
Yeah, I love the band, and
Yeah,
I
awesome.
guess we'll talk about it on the show. I think we talked about it in voice chat. Steve Robinson and Robbie Robinson, both well-known snakes, and I think you
Absolutely.
pointed out they're spelled differently, but one's Canadian, one's American. Could have got mixed up at the border.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, thanks for the call.
Got there.
All right, so not the best call, but anyway, Real Kirk.
Started slow.
Real Kirk was saying that I didn't do the hammer very well. Well, I was actually, as always, this show is paying tribute to the KMS show. I'm not here trying to do my own bits.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that me doing the hammer would get people to call up and say, "Fuck, I hated that," or "Fuck, I loved it."
Bring some reaction to the show. Like,
hello, caller.
What's up? I was just thinking past week, like if Mike gets fired, like what's a reasonable replacement that would work over time?
It's a good question. I don't,
because like people say, Clancy isn't going to do obviously a 5-week show with Kirk Minihane shows the title, and Mike would bring nothing to the type of show Kirk's doing. It's just really it looks like if you remember the episodes without Blind Mike on, Kirk and Steve,
they were awful.
it would file under bad radio with that chemistry.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, there needs to be another person in there.
Yeah.
If it's not
And
Blind
like
Mike,
I worry for your well-being if we have to listen to like 2.5 weeks of Kirk and Steve. It's some of the worst chemistry of all time.
oh, he won't get 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I think though that, and actually, he's gone. I said on the Aussie Minifan show that if Kirk does look at another host, it's got to be someone that can challenge Kirk, not in an argument sense, but creatively. I don't feel Mike can push Kirk, whereas I feel Kirk could benefit from that kind of offsider. Anyway, let me play the sound from Kirk reacting to the last show.
Well, Meadows tried to go along with the theme of the day yesterday. I don't think it really clicked, the parts I listened to.
He tried to steal your bit again.
It's strange. I know.
Steal his bit again. Now, Robinson says that a bit later on while played in the Mincel show. I have not had one message since I've been in the Minifan world that I'm trying to steal Kirk's bit. Can you see why he'd get that impression, Jamie?
I really can't. Like, there are certain things you do that are like Kirk, but all of us do the same things. But to say that you're stealing his bit is ridiculous. Like, does he not know what his bit is?
I mean, I'm nowhere near as good as Kirk. I'm not the same as Kirk. The only things I do that Kirk does is I'm honest on air and I can be an asshole. But Kirk is not the first asshole to be on the air and radio, so he doesn't have a mortgage on being an asshole. Hello, caller.
Hi.
Hello.
I was wondering what your thoughts are on using the word clam as a synonym for a vagina. I'm gonna hang up and let you talk.
Good question.
I mean,
it's a weird
it's
one.
a great one. I don't use it often. I don't know if it has the same power that it has in America. Clams
Over here, yeah, not really. It's not a big deal here.
They're not in the
no.
common vernacular here.
But I can get why it would be in
have our
America.
own. Now, if you look at a map of Australia and you look at Tasmania below the map, our common vernacular instead of clam is a map of Tassie. I like your map of Tassie. And if you shorten it, good map. But yeah,
Yeah, it's not a bad one actually. I have heard that a few times. But yeah, Clam just doesn't have the same reach down here. It's not a popular thing for us, but I can see why it would be in America.
now I just want to play something from this morning's show, Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember.
And you would think those people in kind would, you know, you can have fun with everything and do your stuff, but at the same time, understand that there's also is a level of separation.
Yeah.
Now, when you do a show and you talk about stuff, I understand the lines get blurred a lot.
So Kirk understands there's a level of separation on
Between
when he sets that level, but when I go into the Discord and try and set a level with Medium Pappy and all the other people and explain nicely the levels with my restaurant,
It's not on.
It's not on.
Yeah.
So Kirk can be a hypocrite. Kirk loves to criticize hypocrites. It's one of the most favorite segments in the show. You know, he was going into Alyssa Milano today. Not sure if her story was good enough to lead a KMS show, but who am I to criticize? But yeah, I just like to say it's easy for Kirk to sort of set those boundaries when it suits him, but not when it doesn't. Hello, caller.
How's it going? I was just thinking, so
That's a mistake.
it was either today or yesterday where Kirk went on like that massive rant about Andy Mayo criticizing the show on Mike and the Minuteman. And obviously,
today?
naturally, I don't really listen to Mike and the Minuteman. And I listened to it. It was the most like plain criticism of all time. Like, I don't like this guy
Kirk's
Andy
a
Mayo. but,
sensitive
like,
little pussy
it
when
was
it comes
tame,
to the
and
show.
Kirk just flipped out.
Yep, Kirk is just a sensitive little pussy like everybody else. Yeah,
And I'm constantly criticizing him after what he said about you. It was
what?
disgusting.
He's happy to hear you criticizing him.
Shit.
Yeah, I agree. I love Kirk. I'm not here to attack Kirk, but like everybody, he's not perfect. And
I love him, and that's why I might criticize him a little bit because I love him. I hold him to an amazing standard.
yeah, and look, the fact is, if Kirk's
It's
getting
something
pissed
that
off
no one
about
in
it,
modern day radio or podcast can hold to.
no, but if Kirk's getting pissed off, it's because there's an element of truth to the criticisms. I mean, Mayo's not wrong when he says that Kirk could probably treat Mike better. I mean, that's probably just give him a lift home one. Give him a
keep in
fucking
mind,
lift
Kirk
home once.
really
I mean,
hasn't worked a true day work. He hasn't had a real job, like an editor at Upper Deck, and then he wrote for WEI.com. Like, he hasn't worked. He hasn't gotten his hands dirty. He hasn't worked in a business office.
Yeah,
Since he lacks in like whatever the word is on that. I'm a few deep, so
probably got a few handouts from his. Probably got a few handouts from his parents growing up to keep things going.
I wouldn't say he doesn't work hard. I mean, he always talks about how when he does the show,
Of course, he works hard.
he does the show,
but doing a
no,
morning.
he works hard. He works hard. He just doesn't understand some things that you learn in business
You're
or
right.
work environments. Like,
Yep, you're right.
And another
Absolutely.
thing, actually, I forget. I'm a little bit drunk. Bye.
Bye. I mean, good points
Good
there. As I said, we sort of covered some of this. Hello, caller.
They said that the down it's only 5 flavors. Just swallowing up as I talk to you. Look at this.
Oh, yeah, I
Hello,
think
ice
it's Soprano
cream.
references.
Good time running around. Nom, 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 nom. What are you laughing at? Did they call me friend of fat pig?
Was that a Sopranos?
I think so. I'm not sure, but
I love the Sopranos.
It would
that
follow
was a
along with
bad
the theme.
call. I just have listened to the Steve Robinson being a fucking idiot. For someone that pretends to be smart, he's not.
About your being the most acerbic host in the country. Acerbic. Acerbic. You're probably right.
Fucking idiot.
That was such a good moment.
You brain dead fucking moron. I mean, Steve is a sneaky idiot. So, firstly, he scrubbed that audio, after everybody heard it. So he scrubbed some audio that got him suspended after everybody heard it, which just made no sense at all. So and then this thing with his wife getting doxxed. I mean, he's such an idiot. He lets this person at the dog place take his photo and post it on Facebook, and he tells him he works from home. I mean, he cannot get out of his own way.
Yeah, he
about your being the most acerbic host in the country. Acerbic.
What the hell does
Acerbic. You're probably
Fucking
right.
idiot.
He's supposed to be a smart guy. Like, he puts himself off as a reasonably intelligent person, but constantly slipping up on words like this. And Nilly Willy the other day, Kirk played on it again today just because of how ridiculous it is that he could get it wrong. Like, acerbic, what the fuck?
Nilly Willy. What a dickhead. Hello. Hi, you're
What's
live
the-
on Menace to Midnight.
What's the 4 most overrated shows on the YouTube? I'll hang up and listen.
Oh, good question. 4 most overrated shows on the YouTube.
Overrated shows. Well, I'd have to have. Well, I've got a few.
To be
here.
honest, there's-
overrated.
Yeah,
Well,
overrated.
the Aussie Minifan show's overrated.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys
definitely.
love us as much as you do, but
Well, you go. What are some of your?
I don't know. Overrated, so they have to be overrated. I don't think the shows that are good are good. Like, I can't say they're overrated. Like, I love the OG Minifan show. The Mina Ladies is great. The Minso Intel is probably the best show on the YouTube, but overrated, that's hard.
I mean, if you were to pick a couple of shows to axe,
The bad ones, you'd say I don't really get the whole point of the conspiracy theories, like
Yep.
the QAnon one. Like, I think that can get the show in a lot of trouble. I think Kirk knows that too. I don't really understand Super Lemon Haze. Not really sure what that's all about.
either does Eric the fuckhead.
Other than that, I think they're pretty good. Like the Life Loser Challenge, I love Kirk Latino, but
Kirk Latino.
it's not
or
always
Latino Kirk?
it's not always as awesome. But I don't know if I'd axe it because it'll be gone once the challenge is over. So there's no point axing it now. We're already into the challenge. But to say they're overrated, the good shows are good. The bad shows, you don't rate them anyway, so they can't be overrated.
Yeah. What do you think about the news that there's going to be a new YouTube show premiering called the KMS Rundown Show? I think Red from Maine's taking the lead from that one, and I'm going to give him 5 clout points for that idea. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it can be a good idea. I listen to the rundown on Barstool. I think it's awesome. It's a way to keep up with all the
But
news
you
that's
don't
going
think
on.
that the like half a dozen shows a week that talk about the shows enough?
Yeah, that's a good point. There is a lot of shows that already talk about the show, so it might be a bit much, but it depends how they do it. They might have an interesting way to do it. Got to give it a
Is
chance.
he just going to like ask DEC to give him the sort of year in review audio and then do it from that? Or
Yeah,
do you
maybe
think
pick
Red
like
will come
5
up with his own
topics.
stuff?
I don't know. He could just pick like the way the rundown works now. Is they talk about the 5 biggest topics in the world. Maybe they can take stuff from the Kirk Minahan show and then other things around the
Talk
world
about
that might
the 5
affect it.
biggest topics in
Yeah,
the
see how that works, like or in the Miniverse, because there's always stuff happening
It
in
is
the
good
Miniverse.
if you're a new listener to
It
have
could be,
something
yeah.
to help you catch up.
Yeah, we've talked about that a lot. How do you get into the show now?
Hello, caller.
What's up? I got 2 things. One, am I the only one that still has the biggest fucking grudge on chats for fucking trying to get the Kirk Minahan show axed and never coming on the show, being just a fucking pussy at Barstool HQ, like not even acknowledging Mike. And then second, do you guys? I know. I mean, I go way back with the show, like WEI and shit. And like my favorite part, like sort of MHB shit, like investigating. And I just totally miss it from the show. Like it's not like I miss the WEI show. I just miss the investigation, the Ben Albright, the fucking Murchison,
Kevin
Young.
Cullen.
I miss the fight. Do you guys too? I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah, I think with the Chaps thing, it's just he's kind of irrelevant. Like he doesn't make a splash much at Barstool. He's got his own podcast. It's his small little niche bit that listen to it. Doesn't really affect the
And
KMS
I
show
think
anymore.
also Barstool has shown they're not up for the fight.
No,
They don't want to
absolutely
get in
not.
scraps with Kirk, so it'd be almost Kirk giving out and Chaps not firing back.
That's it. Yeah, it would just be a constant one-way fight. It would be a beatdown, and I think Chaps just doesn't want any part of that. He'll happily let us go, let the Minifans go on their life. He saw how bad it can be.
Listener, if you haven't forgotten, I can guarantee one Kirk Minahan hasn't forgotten.
Oh yeah. What it always comes to the point where one day Chaps will have his day. Something will happen, or he'll want Kirk for something, and Kirk will have his revenge or get his payback, or however he wants to see it. And when it comes to the other question was about the investigations, I miss those too. I think that was the best part about KNC when Kirk and Curtis would go after Kevin Cullen, Ron Borges, all the lies and stuff like that. I think that's probably the one part of the show I would actually like to see a bit more. Is some more investigations, but at the moment, I don't think he has the resources in Stephen Blundmark to go after it. He's got to bring MHB in, and MHB obviously doesn't have time anymore with his new job and his massive house, like such a good house. But yeah, I agree with you. I think I missed the investigations. All the times he would go at people was great.
Yeah,
he didn't stop.
I mean, I do miss the investigations, but I think we're sort of past that stage where the show needs to just expose media hypocrisy. I mean, we know it's there, so I would suggest maybe not digging into that, but with those investigations, they had real enemies.
Oh yeah,
the Boston, there
Boston
were
Globe.
real enemies that were trying to take them down. So it's hard to replicate that. Who would they go after and why?
Yeah, you'd almost say now the world is kind of at peace. The enemies that we have aren't as big anymore. Shirley Leung shot herself in the foot. Bob Murchison's been neutered by his wife. Like, it's it would be hard to go after people. You'd have to find a reason to go after someone. It was different when they were coming at Kirk. When they were taking aim at his show, he had a motivation. Now he doesn't really have the motivation. But if, they all of a sudden they come back at him again, I'm sure he'll go straight back to work.
All right, now got a sound bite here from the Mincel Intel show. This is my good friend Earl the Pearl.
Menners to a certain extent is doing that as well. He's also kind of like ripping off Kirk's shtick, and he's also ripping off BA, frankly.
Yeah, so Steve put me on the hot seat. He thinks that the pressure's on me, and he said I'm ripping off Kirk's shtick. I'd love someone out there if you can shed some light onto it. If I sound like Kirk, I mean, it would be a compliment.
It would be.
If
that wouldn't be a
said
problem.
You sounded like Kirk, I would be thrilled.
Yeah, you're doing the right thing then. You're not making those mistakes. But I just don't see what it is. Like, what are you ripping off him? Like you said, you leave everything on the show. We don't. Well, when we do the Aussie Minifan show, we really don't talk about what we're going to talk about until the show goes live, which is a Kirk trait. But that's a good Kirk trait. Like, I don't understand where the negative is about wanting to be like Kirk.
I mean, maybe athletic, good looking for my age is. Well, you'll hear from Brandy in our show, but I got a couple of sounds from Mike and the Minifans on Saturday night. What did you think of the show? Because I thought it was a good episode because
it was
actually
better.
Mike put some brain power into the format.
Yeah, it was better. Like that's the format that I like. The first half guest, the second half guest. Matt from Providence, Andy Mann, the first half was the better half just because...
You really? I thought the second half was better.
I didn't really watch much of the second half. I had other things to do, so I only watched the whole first half. And Matt from Providence and Andy Mayo, they talked it out.
Providence was so high in the first half. He was like, that anxiety must have been going through the roof that day because he was baked beyond all ability to talk. Hello, caller.
Yo, I just had a quick question. I'll hang up and listen. Just how much you guys think Kirk makes just base salary from Barstool? All right, bye. Love you guys.
So I'm going to say around 200K.
Yeah, I think
at
because
the most, the absolute most.
Yeah, because the way they work is they give the show the budget, and then he has to work out salaries around that. When you look at his reference that Steve earns over $100,000 US, and so Kirk, there's probably not a lot base there for him, but the incentives on the ad sales and the merchandise sales, that's where Kirk will make most of his money come. I think it's like March or something like that. They talk about when they get the payout. So I think that's what he's making most. But yeah, base salary, I can't imagine it's too much anymore. But
yeah, 100K.
No, I reckon it's above 200. It's got to be above 200. Yeah. But like I said, it's not.
Well,
he's not earning the
Kirk
close to.
Didn't have many options. I wonder what leverage Kirk had. It's an old KNC reference.
Yeah, I think it's just more that the base salary is not high, but the potential to earn on the ad rev split, that's probably where he sees the value in the show. And that's why he works so hard on the show. That's why he wants it to be successful. He always jokes with Steve that he doesn't really care about ads, doesn't really care about promotions, selling stuff. Deep down, he knows he does, and this is how he sells stuff, by acting like he doesn't care. That's why people love him.
Hello.
Hey, it's the same guy about the pay. I just want to add a little bit of context. Kirk said Steve's in line to make almost 200,000. While Kirk once said on a Colin show on the over-under, he said he's over 200,000 easy. So I don't know where that leaves us. And I'm not like the biggest Wine Mike fan in the world, but I also like to see the guy get at least 50. I mean, if Steve's getting like 190, 180, Mike's got to get 50. All right, I'll hang up a little bit.
Yeah, well, Mike's part of the ad rev split now. Like, he might not get a good base, much like Kirk probably doesn't get a good base. But if the show is successful, which is why Mike should be more motivated to be better, because the more successful the show is, the bigger the show is, the more money he's going to receive. So I think Barstool works on an ad rev split is more the pay as opposed to your base.
Didn't Mike allude to a very, very generous year-end bonus from Kirk?
Which would have come because recently
10,
March.
15 grand, so.
Yeah, so he probably got a bit of a kick up, probably from ad split as
but
well.
When you think about it, Steve Robinson's actually worth 50 grand and Blind Mike's worth.
Yeah, it's hard 65. To believe. You look at producers in America, Kirk references all the time. They don't earn much more than 30K. Why is Steve on 100?
Get someone better than Steve
for less money.
Caller. Hello, you're live to tape.
Oh, Menners, I was just wondering if you and Jamie are practicing proper social distancing. It doesn't look like you're 6 feet apart.
Well, actually, we are. See, he's
in Australia,
way back on the table.
Yeah,
see how?
Do you think he's this much bigger than me?
Yeah, I'm actually a lot smaller than Jamie, but the way that
I can't even reach him.
Yeah, so we actually did. We've got the table on an angle, and I'm at the front, and he's at the end.
Knew that would come up.
We knew that would come up. So we've
And in Australia, it's 1.5 meters, so it's not quite 6 feet. It's about 4 foot, 4.5 foot. So
yeah,
we're definitely 4.5 foot away. Manners could lie down between
But
us and fit easily.
I'm glad. I just don't want you to contract COVID-19.
No,
Also,
neither do I.
that light really looks a little interesting. Like you look like suspect under the light.
Bit like a
well,
halo.
I am suspect.
You
Don't you
look
think?
like you're a plant, like baking.
Okay, well,
Just looks like a heat lamp.
okay. Well, I need to
Little
grow.
chia
I
pet.
need to grow. So
That is evident.
it wouldn't be a bad thing. But actually, the lights
Yeah,
are
I
far
mean, I
behind me
think
in the
that-
distance.
That's
Should
definitely need to grow.
should I turn the light off, caller?
If you want to. I mean, it's like just very bright and like you just look like a plant that needs to grow. All you need is
Well,
some
tell-
water.
I mean, look, this is a fan show, so if you want the lights off. I mean, who says I'm not a man
Oh,
of the people?
perfect. That's so much better. You don't look like a criminal anymore.
Well, I'm a criminal. Can't you tell? Look at me. Anyway, any other calls? Any other questions?
That's that's all I have. Best of luck. I'm enjoying the show. So thanks.
Yeah, it was
Cheers.
very seductive call. Thank you.
Yeah, I like that voice.
Whew, hot. We love it when a lady calls in at Menace to Midnight. All right, let's play something. So, Mike and the Minifans, yeah. I liked the first. I didn't like the first half was okay, but as I said, Matt couldn't talk, so it was just Mayo and Mike going back to back. And then the second half with Elvin and the two Mincels, I thought was good. Oh, hello, welcome to
Menace
the
to
Kirk
Midnight.
Minahan tribute hour.
Good call.
So you're
That
not
was
a
a good
fan.
call.
So I've got some sounds from Mike and the Minifans. Let's have a look.
Menners was a guy I liked having on, but he refuses to ever do it again, I guess.
Menners is
what a shame.
I DM'd Menners yesterday and told him, I was like, you're everything I wish I could be. Because even some of the Menners will even tell
411?
Yeah.
411.
Fucking a slumlord. A fucking
Yes. It's all on my bucket list. But just even some of the jokes that Menners tells are things that I think to myself, but I hold back on because I couldn't say them on in public like this.
I like Menners. Menners is a funny guy.
He just
But what do
lets
you
loose.
guys think of I think he was a little rattled about more than a little. He was definitely rattled about the medium pop.
Definitely was.
Just a bit.
I never said I wouldn't go on Mike and the Minifans. I just said I think I need to consider whether it's good for my brand. And Mike made fun of the Menace brand, which is why he's fucking struggling. His image is in the toilet and mine isn't. Hello, caller.
Yeah. Good on you. G'day.
G'day, mate.
G'day.
Good on. So, Menace, got a quick question for you.
Yes.
You ever get caught wanking it in the back of your parents' Holden?
Good reference.
Man. Well, no, we never had a Holden, but good reference.
We're Ford men.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
More Mercedes.
And
but anyway.
second question, which is worse, cricket or croquet? Is there any difference?
Croquet is way worse. So croquet is
Timmy
the
Cannon.
game where you hit through the little pegs on the ground with a round. You hit the ball along the ground. Cricket's sort of more a sport like baseball.
If you want to get into cricket, watch T20. That's all I'd say.
Who is this, by the way?
Sounds like Timmy Cannon.
No, just a big fan of yours.
Well, it's great for you to call up. Have you ever been to Australia?
I have.
You
Too
have?
right, fair income.
You have. Fair
Sydney,
dinkum, yes.
Sydney, Brisbane, the Gold Coast, Ayers
Excellent.
Rock,
Ayers
the Rafe, Tasmania, Tassie, mate.
Yeah, I was
Hey.
just, I don't know if you saw
What-
before, but have you ever heard the term, how's your map of Tassie?
No, I haven't heard that one yet. Hey, last
map-
one.
map
Justin
of Tassie
Langer,
is
what-
another
what
name
would
for
you-
vagina.
Hey, Menace, what would you do to hold Justin Langer's nuts in your hand?
Justin's nuts.
Justin Langer's.
Justin
Yeah.
Langer's nuts. Yeah,
have
I
no
don't know.
idea.
No, Langer's nuts.
Langer's
Not
nuts.
Justin, your co-host. Langer's nuts.
Yeah, I know. He got it. Jamie's on.
Yeah, Justin Langer, the Australian coach.
Cricket coach.
Yeah. Australian gaffer.
Nothing. Me and Jay will get on well. But thanks for the call.
Nickname basis. Nickname basis.
Okay, so whoever that was some bad Australian accents, but a good call.
Tommy made me think it was Tim and Kenton. Like it
Yeah.
had that sort of like Tim accent.
Hello, this is the Steve Robinson Death Hour.
Just quick tip for you. Text me later. Ask Blind Mike if he ever got his ad rev share from February. Look into Big Steve's involvement on that. That's it.
Oh, nice tip.
Oh, well. Yeah, so
Is that
there's some
inside-
allegations there that Mike hasn't been paid for his ad rev.
Possible inside
Be
information.
asking Earl the Pearl about that one.
Steve, you're probably watching. You might want to address this one on the show tomorrow.
Lovely. I wonder if they can see.
I don't know.
A couple of Steve and Matt up the back there.
Yeah, it's a little bit further away from the camera. As long as Dalbear's there.
We need to put a photo of that photo online.
Yes.
After the show.
Definitely. If people can't see it.
Hello, you're calling into the Aussie Minifan show live 11 till 12. Good call.
Good points.
All right, so I think they were trying to get through to another number. I've got another sound from Mike and the Minifans. We'll listen.
I didn't like when Kirk said, like, oh, if you're going to be the tough guy, you got to answer the tough questions.
I agree
But to me, it's like Menners is a tough guy within the world of KMS. And I felt like Kirk was saying in a way, if you're going to be that tough guy in the world of the show, then anything anyone can find out about you and bring up is fair game. That concerned me.
And Mayo was right to be concerned. That is the hypocrisy of Kirk Minahan. Hello, caller.
Menners, it's John from Scranton. If I call in, I
Hey.
don't want to have to hear any Mayo anymore.
Mayo was spot on then.
Menners, I called in for cloud chasing the other day. So Tuesdays I had to call in for your hot seat since you have your handsome co-host there, you and Jamie. Give me your hot seat, cool throne. I'll talk to you guys later. I'll hang up and listen. Love you guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Awesome. Man, hot seat, I'd probably put Steve's dog on the hot seat.
Yep.
We know what Steve's like. likes wild animals. Hopefully he's good to the doggo, as he refers to it as. But yeah, I'll have to put the dog on my hot seat and my cool throne. Oh man, that's a tough one. Give me your hot seat first, and I'll think about my cool throne.
I've
But
got
yeah,
so my hot seat is Kirk Minahan because I think he's just having a bit of a rough week. You know, he's encouraging trolls like Medium Pappy to ruin shows on his channel. He's blurring lines. He's getting very sensitive about criticisms from people like me and Mayo. So I think Kirk's on the hot seat. And then the cool throne I'm giving to DEC for accidentally doxing Steve's wife. So they're my two, John.
Michael Throne would be Barstool Zonka. He's
yep.
burst into the world now, and he's
Easily could've
embracing
had
it, and he's loving it. So yeah, Barstool Zonka is my cool throne.
Good one. Hello, caller. You're live on Menners and Jamie to midnight.
Hello, guys.
Hey, Mike's dad.
Hello.
I was busy and almost missed the call-in time.
Were you busy fucking Alba?
Can you if you put the lights back on, maybe you'll grow.
I used the same joke, Mike's dad, to the caller. So have you got your own material?
Shit. I got nothing.
Does Alba have a tight pussy? Yes or no?
I've never entered that hole.
Okay, so it's her asshole. Fair enough.
But I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Good call. Thank you.
That was a mix between Mike's dad and one of a bad Adam Sandler accent.
I've been really crude on this episode.
Yeah,
I've
oh, it's
been
Menace to
very, very
Midnight.
crude.
It's a little bit more loose.
You're very, very crude here at Menace to Midnight. XX rated. Hello, shithead caller.
Can you,
That was
could
my
you turn the
Kirky-
light back on?
Yeah, okay.
That's it. Thanks. Bye. I'll hang up.
Good call.
I mean, that's the sort of level of intelligence that's running through some of these calls. Now, okay, should we take another call?
Yeah, definitely. This is fun.
Hello. Hello.
You think that's funny? Why don't you get a horse and live in the mountains and don't bother anybody? Got a personality like a dead moth. Okay, fun's over. Anyone who messes this thing up for me tonight is through. Not only are you fired, your life is over. I'll see to it that you never work again and that you will wind up tearing tickets off in Kuwait. Sorry, money.
There we go.
That's a good one. As always on Menace to Midnight, we like to take a look at what's happening on the YouTube channel. I guess the first thing was Kirk stole my idea today, so I might be ripping off Kirk's act. He stole my idea where he talked about axing the odd show or axing the worst show. I mean, viewers, I said this last week or the week before, and everyone's, oh, you can't axe shows. And as soon as podcast fuckhead says it, everybody jumps on board. So hello, caller, sorry. Hello.
I forget what I wanted to say.
It was a very good comment. So, yeah, do you think they should axe the odd show? Because my argument is, Jamie, that if you have a very bad show on there, then someone might click onto that, see that, and then not bother looking for the rest.
Yeah, because they might just think, is this a standard? I'm not going to watch another show. Like, what's the
Life
point?
Loser, Super Lemon, you know, is this a conspiracy channel?
Is this a conspiracy podcast?
Hello, you're
Live to tape.
What
hit
up,
the
Menners?
You've hit the jackpot and got through. Hello.
Great. Menners, isn't your biggest issue with Steve just that he's a foot taller than you? Isn't it all down to Napoleon syndrome? Nothing else even matters?
No. I mean, look, that's probably part of it. Let's be honest. I mean,
That's
probably
like as a tall person myself, like I've had all short people attack me my whole life for no reason. I think that's just the root of the issue. Just say I'm shorter than Steve, and we could just all let this go. He's a great producer. I'm a Steve guy, and
You're
I'll
a
let you
fucking
react to
idiot
that.
then. You're a fucking idiot then. The guy is a talentless fuck. My stuff around Steve has nothing to do with his height. He's a creepy fuckhead, and he's a rude prick. He's a lying snake, and eventually, mark my words, he's going to fuck over Kirk. That's what I've said from the beginning. Eventually, Steve will fuck over Kirk, and I will have been proved right.
I feel like Steve's motivation now is to not fuck over Kirk just to prove you wrong. I think that's his main motivation in life now. You may have backfired here. If he's just purely doing it to make sure that Menace isn't right, everything he does. I mean, it's good for the show, obviously, but not good for the Menace brand.
Yeah, as I said, I don't hate Steve like I used to. There's more just I find him vile, I guess is the better word. So I just wanted to sort of start to look at some of the other YouTube shows that have been on in the last week as we near the end of our show. One of my favorite shows is the OG Minifan show with Steve from
same.
Providence and TJ Hubbard.
Hubbard.
What do you like about it?
They're both funny guys. Like I've known Steve from Providence for a long time now. TJ Hubbard is probably the meme lord of the Minifan universe, and when they get together, they can talk about any topic in the world, and they can put their little comedic spin about it, and it's just always entertaining. And it's not too long as well, much like what we tried to do. It's never much longer than 30 minutes, which is a good size. You just put it on, watch the show, and have a bit of a laugh. And yeah, that's probably why and some of the stories that Steve talks about as well. It's just always a crack up.
Yeah, I agree. They're both funny guys. But also what I like about TJ and Steve is they have real heart. And, a lot of people might think I'm a snake or whatever, but I've got a big heart. I'm a lot of love in my heart. And those two are sort of real genuine guys just shooting the shit. And that's, I think, the way Kirk likes the show.
Love the intro too.
In the later show, Steve from Providence was talking about, his son's graduation being cancelled and how, his son is the first person of anyone of their family to finish school and how happy they were to be there and how disappointing that is. So I can see why that's a big thing for him and why he's sad about that. So I like the heart in their show. Hello, caller.
Hey, how's it going?
Great.
I just stumbled across this YouTube. You're not doing Nessun After Hours anymore?
Hello? Nessun After Hours.
This is Jerry Remy, right?
It is, yes.
I see you on YouTube.
Now, do I look like Jerry Remy? Because I don't think, sort of.
Kind of.
Sort of. We're about the same height. So, maybe Jerry Remy, when he was like mid-40s, would have looked like this. I wish I'd been a pro baseball.
Oh, bloody oath.
You have a Red Sox T-shirt on too. I thought you were
Doesn't help.
Jerry. This isn't Jerry.
You have the Red Sox
Oh,
shirt
yeah,
on
well,
too.
I'm a
so.
big fan of the Red Sox. We're all just joking around, aren't we? I mean, yeah, go
Go
the
Brewers.
Sox. Go the Sox and Sam Kennedy.
Fuck that
Anyway, what's
snake.
your question?
Well, I was gonna ask you if you could get me in contact with Sam Kennedy, but are you saying that you're not Jerry Remy?
I'll leave it up to you. You should go to the conspiracy guys. They actually know my true identity. But yeah, I mean, Kirk's got Sam's number. Apparently, they're texting all the time. This whole sort of beef between the Red Sox and Kirk's is just made up for the show. So yeah, I think reach out to Kirk. He'll give you his number. He can put you in touch.
Oh, okay. Well, why are you wearing a Red Sox t-shirt then?
I mean, I love the Reds. I mean, it's a joke, isn't it? We're all, we can all have fun about this stuff, can't we? Like have fun about my cafe, have fun about trolls, have fun about the Red Sox. I mean, that's what this is, isn't it?
My name's Stephen Murphy. My boss is Sam Kennedy.
Absolute quality song.
Rape. I'm a Red Sox. See, that's why I can't sing.
My second favorite song.
So yeah, we were just talking about the OG Minifan shows before we got rudely interrupted by the call on a call-in show.
A dare call.
The one thing I have to take up was Steve and TJ fucking blowing Steve Robertson on the latest OG Minifan show, saying that Steve is some genius producer and we should all lay off him. He does so much behind the scenes and blah, 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 blah. They just basically, sucked his fucking dick. I mean, I would think Steve and TJ, who've been with Kirk for so long, would know that fucking anybody could produce Kirk and he'd be good. You could fucking
You're not wrong.
and produce him.
I couldn't, but I mean, Chris Curtis did it drunk for God knows how many years, so anyone can do it. But Steve has his benefits. I think he's a good PA for Kirk almost.
No.
He's the guy that books
Shut up.
everything.
The OGs need to get their shit together. Hello, caller. Sorry to keep... Justin, hang up. Justin, just all those calls you better hang up on because it's not good at listening. Not into that. Mincel show. Well, there were some interesting stuff that came out of the Mincel show. Firstly, Steve Robinson's story is so boring. I mean, here's a tip, Mincels. I wouldn't have spent 15 minutes trying to get to the bottom of Steve's career because it's not interesting. But what did strike me was the revelation that Steve is actually not an audio producer. Like
it's a bit shocking. Yeah,
learnt on the job, almost. Like Blind Mike has,
like an intern.
Yeah, like an intern. Exactly. Steve's effectively done a Will or Justin on the podcast. Has he's gone, which sort of starts to unlock some of the insecurities. Why he would ask for advice, technical advice, early on in the show, but then run and hide.
Why he was scared of Dave Cullinane.
Yeah, why he was scared of Cullinane. Why he would ask DEC which mics to get. Why he would ask me how to use things, and then be afraid that they would come out. So yeah, that was I found really interesting that Steve is a bit of a fraud when it comes to producing.
I wouldn't call him a fraud, but it was interesting to know that he doesn't have that sort of sound producing sort of background, which is pretty eye-opening because I think he's done a pretty good job so far. I don't think there's many issues that he's had on that side of it.
It's interesting, though, if you go back to the first few months when they were Red 13.
Yeah.
The sound wasn't that great.
It wasn't as good as it is now, but I put that down to the studio. I think where they are now, it's a permanent setup.
I'm pretty sure that, if you take good mics into any studio, it's pretty much going to sound good. So
yeah,
I would put it more down to the producer.
I just think that he's a lot more comfortable where they are now at Watertown. It's a setup. It's a consistent setup. He doesn't have to change much. So I think he's got it down packed now. He's learning on the job. Now he's learned how to have it right. It took him a while. I didn't think it was terrible, but it's not as bad as the Jerry Callahan podcast.
No, that's right. It sounds much better than that. Do we have a caller? Hello. Do we have a caller? I lost track.
I thought we did, but I don't think it's still there. Yeah.
Minifan show this week. Did you listen to that? It was Mayo, DEC, Chris from Wakefield, and R.A. Minahan.
Yes, I did actually. They were going hard at Andy Mayo. R.A. Minahan and him had a good little battle.
What did you think of that battle? Because it was a good podcast. I enjoyed those four together. And DEC had some technical problems, but they're all pros. They just kept going at Mayo.
Yeah, it was a bit of a beatdown.
The overriding feeling about Mayo, he seems to dive in with a big opinion, but then have listened to the show.
And it seems like, the guys on the show like Steve and Blind Mike and Kirk are giving him a bad rap of how he acts when they don't DM him back straight away. He sort of wanted to set the record straight there, but I just felt bad for him because it was just three guys just hammering him, going at him. DEC went at him hard first, and RA obviously doesn't like him, and he has his reasons, which, you can say are valid or not. But yeah, I just felt bad for Mayo. Like people like him are essential to the universe because there's too many people like me that, everything Kirk does is great. It's very hard to criticize him because of how much joy he brings us. But then there's Andy Mayo who can criticize anything because he likes that contrarian sort of point of view. He'll go at Kirk. He doesn't have to say yes to him every time, even though he likes the show.
Yeah, I thought it was a good podcast, good Minifan show. I like Mayo. I can see why he annoys people, but I also think he comes across as a pretty likable guy.
Yeah, when you
He's
actually
got a
talk
sort
to
of
him.
funny voice, not in like a funny voice like me, but he's got a very sort of sweet voice, and then
Calming voice.
Yeah, and then he says
not-
all these horrible things.
It's not the voice you would expect from someone with what he tweets to be the way he talks when you see him on the show. It kind of neuters his arguments a little bit, sort of brings him down. It's like, oh, he's not that much of a threat.
Yep, agree. All right, so we're coming to the end of our hour. Now, you spoke about you're not a conspiracy guy, so I want to run a few things by you. I want to okay, we'll take this call. Hello and welcome to Menace to Midnight. You're with Menace and Jamie.
Fuck you.
Thank
call.
you. Thanks, Aaron.
That was
So
clearly at me.
I want to go through the conspiracies and ask you which ones you believe in.
Okay.
So Elvin threw out a few there. I want to. Do you believe in aliens?
Oh, 100%. I don't think that's conspiracy theory.
Really? 100%.
Yeah, there's no way. Like, look how big the universe is. There's no way we're the only people. And I read things on the cosmonauts talking about that they're out there. They've seen them, but I think it's something to do with privacy where NASA won't actually talk about it. But absolutely, aliens exist.
Okay, great. Did the Americans land on the moon? Yes or no?
Yeah, that's
I agree with that one. Do you believe 9/11 like happened the way we think it happened, or do you think there's something else to it?
I think it happened the way we think it happened. I think scumbag people flew planes into the buildings and fucked up the world.
Okay,
Absolutely.
yeah, good. And do you think there is an international pedophile ring?
Yeah, I reckon there is. I don't think it's as big as Elvin goes into, and it's the reason for why this coronavirus is, but you'd be silly to believe there's not. I mean, the whole Epstein sort of stuff, that it's got to be out there. There's probably princes overseas that are involved in it, but absolutely, that's one I think is real. But it'll probably never come out.
Hello, caller. Last call of the night.
Yo, Manners.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, what's up with Steve Francesa?
Who's Steve Francesa?
Did Steve do
You notice
Francesa?
every time, like, Steve, he doesn't like a call, so he announces how long they've been on hold for.
Oh yeah.
He
Oh, you
sits
went
there
on
and
pretty
mocks
much.
Francesa.
Yeah, but
the
this is
whole
one of my
show.
caller. This is one of my things with Steve. He always shits on the Minifans. I mean, it's his go-to material. He loves shitting on the Minifans. I mean, some guy calls up. Not everybody's going to have a great question.
Yeah.
They wait and wait. Okay,
Right.
it's a dud call, and you fucking waited half an hour for that. I mean, what a fucking
Right,
smug
yeah.
prick. I mean,
Yeah, he laughs. He can laugh at Francesa all day. He does the same thing as him.
yeah, great call.
And
What
he would be Francesa if he was still on the radio. If he was doing radio, he'd basically be right wing Francesa.
I agree. I mean, wouldn't it be as good as Francesa?
And
Right.
Well, thanks for the call. Good one to finish. That's it for the calls, Justin. So you can shut off the phone lines. Jamie, we're going to wrap things up.
Yep.
Thank you
No
for
worries.
coming into the Tuesday night edition of Menace to Midnight.
No worries. It was fun. It was actually really fun.
Good. I'm going to be back on Thursday. I'm going to be sifting through all this Earl the Pearl stuff. I'm trying to make sense of how all the evidence fits together. So this is a very thorough investigation. So I'm just going to look at all that. As I said, plenty of documents have come in about that. Yeah, so thanks. I'll be back on Thursday. Jamie won't be here. It'll just be me. Justin, thanks for producing. And yeah, check you out soon.
See you later, boy, guys.